Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and I am so excited to be live with you today. This week, we are working on doing our vision boards, and I like to call them a vision board. There are many names for them, goal posters and visions and all kinds of creative words. I like the word vision boards because it's a vision. It's something that you want to put in a place where you're going to see it every day, someplace that's going to remind you of what your goals really are. And we're going to talk about this whole week, starting at noon today. And we'll be talking about this all week, starting at noon. And it'll be either, 15 or 20 minutes. And then you've got time to kind of put your thoughts and your ideas together and get ready for what we're going to be doing the following day. So let's see. The purpose of creating a vision board is giving you a visual representation of what you want to achieve in your life, whether it's creating one to get ahead in work or activities with your friends and family, or things that you want to do with your friends or things you want to do with your family. It's always attainable and manageable goals is what we want to work at. We don't want to do something that's going to be crazy out there, or something that we're not going to be able to attain at some point. So we want to make sure that we're keeping that in focus. The first kind of lesson that I always tell people is kind of decide what kind of vision board you want. Some people will have a vision board and they will section it off and kind of do each area is a different one, almost like a clock. From like 1 to 3 is family, and from 3 to 6 is future or career, or a car you want to buy, or you know what I'm saying. And so they kind of divide it all out. A vision board can be as small as a business card. And you can make more than one for each subject, so it just depends on what you want. So this is a business card size. This is a 3x5 index card. Nothing fancy, just 3x6. I do like that it's a little bit stiffer. I'm sorry, that's a 3x5. This is a 4x6, so it kind of gives you some different sizes. This is my size that I use in my office all the time, and this is a 5x8. Kind of like half a page, or it kind of gives you something to think about, like, and put them in different places. So we're going to talk about that. And then this is just like a half a board. See if I can scoot it back and you can see all of it. It's not very big. It's probably half a poster board, but it does give you some different sizes to think about. And you may want to make different size ones for different areas. So if you had a spot in maybe your bathroom vanity or something like that, maybe you could do a 3x5. But if you had wall space in your bedroom, or in your closet or something like that, you could do like a 5x8, or you could do the half poster size, or even a full poster size. You can do them as big as you want. I've even seen them almost like the science boards, where they're huge and they've got flaps on the side. It just depends on what space you have and where you want to see this. What time of day is going to motivate you to get things done? So that's one of the things that we want to really concentrate on this. Let's see. Now we've gone through the sizes. We want to go through what area of life do you want to start with. And you could do one that's just family. You could do one that has a mixture of them, like I said earlier. Family, career, business, health, friends, family, upgrading your thoughts or your words. All of those are amazing suggestions, and they're really fun to think about. And you can make them any different size. There is no limit to what you can create. I will tell you, a lot of times people will tell you to go and look through magazines or pictures of that you can find online that kind of give you that idea of what you want. And that's a really good place to start. But it's not where you would want to end up. It's one of those, that's someone else's vision. That's someone else's idea of what they want to bring into things. So I often will tell people to, now one of the things that you may not know about me is I am the best stick person drawer there is in the whole wide world. And so even if you're not an artist or you can't really draw very well, the more you get yourself into this, the faster these goals are going to come at you. because as you're coloring it, let's see if I can find where I colored one earlier. I was coloring one earlier and thinking about my goals as I'm talking about yours. So here's mine. So I started out with just some I colored this in. I just printed out. This is what it looked like. Just printed out. And then this is the one I created myself. And I literally got some colored pencils and I colored it in. And I was thinking about like all the words I could say about myself. So I could even draw those, or I could find old pictures of myself if I was talking about self-confidence. If I were talking, I want to be more self-confident in what I do or how I speak, I could say, I am confident. I am secure in my knowledge of what I know, secure in the knowledge that I love to share with other people. So I just blew this up really big, just on Word, nothing fancy or anything else. And I printed this out. I will have attachments to all of this later on today online, so you can look at these. And you want to start out with I am statements. And as we remember, last week we learned about I am statements and how to make those. So if you didn't get that, make sure that you're going back into that last week and that you're learning those ideas, learning that idea of how you want to state these. If you have any questions, you can always post them tomorrow, and we can talk about it. Let's see, draw pictures. If you want a house, draw a picture, not just of the outside, but the interior layout. What does it look like? And you don't have to be an architect and draw down to the millimeter or down to the inch and that sort of thing. What are the ideas? What would you want the view out the window to be? What would you want each room to look like? Do you like a large master, or do you like a small? Do you like a huge kitchen or open living room? Like, what are those things that you're really wanting to draw into you? What would you like that to amplify? While you're creating your pictures and your words, are there any blocks that are coming forward? Sometimes people will have blocks that come forward and they can be like, this goal is too big. You're not good enough. If it's confidence, you're too sick to recover from this, or you'll never be completely healed from this. Any of those, you want to keep that off to the side. And it's one of those, and then start kind of combating yourself. I almost say like you want to put on your attorney's hat at that point and really think about like, someone else became healed of this disease. Someone else cured their thyroid cancer, or someone else overcame this. And so you want to start combating that almost like an attorney, like, this is where I can prove myself wrong. This is where my thinking is off. And a lot of times this thinking got off when you were a child and you picked that up from your parents or grandparents. I had a client one time when we were working on her vision board, and she was talking about, she was like, I just feel like this inside voice inside of me, like laughing, going, you're never going to have this much money. You're never going to be able to afford a house like this. One of the things, and she realized what was the underlying part of that is what she picked up from her parents are wealthy people are mean or stingy. They don't give to others. They're out of my league. They are ruthless. They are whatever it is. And so she was like, I don't want to be wealthy because that's what it means to me. But she didn't realize it until she started looking way down underneath what her real dreams were, what were her real dreams, and what were her real blocks that were coming through. So if you have any of these blocks coming through, make sure that you work on that, set them off to the side, and we'll talk about those on Wednesday. We'll be talking about your blocks on Wednesday. But meanwhile, make sure that you are putting together your statements. So I will post a copy of this later on, and kind of start thinking about what are your statements that you want to bring into you. What are the I am statements? I am now creating my goals. I am now accomplishing my goals. And I am now whatever it is. So think about those. If you have any today that you want me to fix or think about, you can post those. I will not be doing these on private message or anything like that. I will only be doing them while I'm on live. I had several people last week actually sending me information, and I just couldn't keep up with everybody. It was just so much work to try to private message everybody different questions or answers back or anything like that. It was just way too much for me. I still am seeing clients, even though it's all over the internet now. But I've got a lot of you guys that are dealing with different things. So if you have any questions about this, think about what area you want to start in. If that's family, home, career, even a vacation home, whatever it is that you would like to create, think about those things. And then what size area would you like to put it in? A lot of people like to put them in their bathrooms or in their dressing areas because it gives them an opportunity to see them in the morning. When you're getting up and getting dressed and going somewhere, you get a chance to see them or feel them or decide what you really want to really take advantage of that time. I like to do them first thing in the morning. I have several of them on my dresser, and then I have several of them in my closet as I'm getting ready in the morning. And I like the ones that are colored because I've colored myself, even though I'm a great color. I'm going to say that. I love coloring in different areas, but this is one that really amplifies what I want to bring into me. Things or visions that I've had. I have even taken advantage of dreams that I've had of things coming up in the future and drew them to the best of my abilities and put them on my vision board. This is the dream that I had. I had a dream not too like a couple of years ago about what was coming up. And I had a vision of me doing a group reading. And so I wrote down and drew out my picture and the statement and that sort of thing. And what I was really thinking about as I drew the picture is what I want you to really think about is like the energy. How did I feel accomplishing that goal? I had a great feeling and I felt really confident. And so, and the colors that I picked and chose for my coloring picture were really powerful colors, reds and greens and purples, blues, some of my favorite shades of blue. And so it's one of those, and just amplified that coloring in the picture itself. And when I was coloring it, it's almost like that's getting into the coloring layers and bringing that same energy forward as we're working on this. So think about the colors that make you feel powerful. If you have a really great black suit or something like that, putting that on, and then what colors underneath, what colors were vibrating underneath there, kind of, is it your green shirt that makes you feel like the most special or the cutest or whatever it is, adding that in. I also had so a great time of coloring the pictures and taking time. I sit on the floor like I did when I was a kid, nestled up to the coffee table and colored the pictures, thinking about what I want to draw into me. And some of these don't have to be humongous goals. They don't have to be ginormous, like, oh, I need a bigger house, or I need a business of my own. Some of them can just be being with your friends and your family and drawing that out. And just like a kid, like drawing a picture and drawing, this is so-and-so. This is me and so-and-so. This is me and Billy, or this is me and Sadie, or whatever it is. Coloring those pictures and showing that to everybody else is important. And a lot of times people go, wow, that sounds really fun. Or I had one a couple of years back that I had to get rid of a couple of friends that I thought were pushing me along or really helping me. And I realized that they really weren't. And so I had to cut some friends off and realize that I don't need those kind of friends in my life. And so I decided to go through a period of time where I upgraded my friends, and I did. And I have amazing friends. I may not have as many as I did before, but I have some amazing friends that support me in what I do. So if you have any questions, I would love to answer your questions. Live tomorrow, we are going to start showing some pictures. I'm going to show you some pictures that I have. I'll be posting all of those. I'm working on this with you. It's not just I'm working on this and I'm telling you what to do. I am personally working on this with you. So we're in it together. I'm going to show you some of what I've come up with tomorrow for this. And I'm going to be working on this throughout the day and into tomorrow. So if you have any questions, please post them. And I will be live again tomorrow at noon. And then I'll be posting some information tonight to give you some I am statements. If you came up with any I am statements or anything that didn't amplify, or kind of your blocks that came forward, we're going to talk about your blocks on Wednesday. So I thank you so much for joining me, and we will be talking to you soon. Have a good one.